shot by Izzy right before the bell.
Be cautious. He's got a whole minute.
In today's video, we're going to delve into everything you need to know about Adesanya and his savage UFC call-out to former opponent Robert Whittaker, whom he just beat at UFC's 263. Along with this, we will also discuss UFC star Jamal Hill's arm dislocation and why this stunned everyone, including the commentators. If you love everything UFC and fighting, then you need to stay tuned until the end of this video. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on, so you don't miss any of the new videos we post. Adesanya's savage UFC call-out. Israel Adesanya, the UFC middleweight champion, has called out arch rival Robert Whittaker for his next title defense, but he wants the bout to take place in Auckland, New Zealand. In his third championship defense, the Last Stylebender defeated Italian Martin Vettori by unanimous decision on Sunday at a packed Gila River Arena in Arizona. The uncontested champion had dispatched the class's top 5 fighters and is on a quest to apply the rules to every competitor in the division. In the main event of UFC 263, he successfully defended his middleweight title for the third time against Martin Vettori. Izzy called out former champion Robert Whittaker, whom he had defeated in 2019, during his post-fight interview with Joe Rogan. Well, you know, the old Modsy, my arch nemesis, what's his name? Adesanya told Rogan immediately after his match. Whittaker, Bobby Knuckles, I knocked him out twice. I don't know what is going to happen with this whole global health situation thing, but we need to run that back in Auckland. We need to run that back in my territory this time. I'll tell you when it is. You don't get to decide, I get to decide. Cause why? I'm the king. I don't wait around, you know me, Adesanya said later at the post-fight presser. This is my third fight in 9 months. I don't wait around like the rest of these guys. The rest of these champions who talk about being active. I don't talk about it, I just do it. I'm an active champion. The Last Stylebender also stated that he would prefer the fight to take place in Auckland, New Zealand, but that he is open to meeting Whittaker on Fight Island or in the United States. Given the current global health situation regulations in place regarding international travel, UFC President Dana White appeared to dismiss talk of going to Adesanya's native country this year, telling reporters that he would highly doubt it. That's the thing I love about Adesanya, White stated when asked about the Whittaker fight. Adesanya, before this fight happened, maybe 2 or 3 days ago, we got the word that I want to fight again in October. He hasn't even fought yet, and this kid is already talking about his next fight. I love that. Adesanya has become a very badass champion for us. So yeah, we'll figure out him and Whittaker ASAP. In response to these callouts, Robert Whittaker actually took to his Twitter to respond, writing, "Rest up, see you soon." Robert Whittaker has won 3 straight fights after surrendering his middleweight title to Israel Adesanya at UFC 243, including victories over Jack Hermanson and Darren Till. Whittaker's most recent fight was in the main event of UFC Vegas 24, where he put on a striking masterclass against perennial contender Kelvin Gastelum. After solidifying his #1 status over 3 strong rivals, Whittaker set his sight on a title opportunity against Israel Adesanya. ESPN quoted Robert Whittaker as saying, "There is no other fight. It's just that fight left. I have defended the #1 spot 3 times against the next big thing, and I got the win once again against an opponent that gave Adesanya himself a hard fight. So I know that's the only fight left. So, it appears that this fight may be on the horizon, and it may take place back in Adesanya's stomping ground, Auckland, New Zealand. This will definitely be a fight you wouldn't want to miss, that's for sure." Who is Adesanya? At the ripe age of 18, he started training in kickboxing after getting his inspiration from the Muay Thai film Ong Bak. Just 2 years later, Israel decided to quit his studies and pursue his dream of becoming a professional kickboxer. This turned out to be the best decision he ever made, as he went on to amass an amateur record of 32-0 before he finally became a professional, first fighting in China. At the age of 21, Israel decided that he wanted to try his luck in MMA and began training heavily under Eugene Behrman and alongside future UFC fighters including Dan Hooker, Kai Kara France, and Alexander Volkanovski. Israel continued fighting professionally as a kickboxer and boxer, becoming extremely well known and winning tournament championships after titles. However, the big time really came after he got into MMA and began winning winning match after match. Israel debuted professionally in 2012 with a TKO win against James Griffiths, and shortly after, another win against John Vake. Following these wins, he took a 2-year hiatus and returned in August 2015 to continue his winning streak. He went on to amass an 8-0 record, fighting mostly within the Chinese circuit. In December of 2017, it was announced that Israel had signed a lucrative contract with the UFC, which is a massive deal for any professional fighter. He made his official debut fighting against Rob Wilkinson on February 11th, 2018 at UFC 221, winning the fight with a TKO in the second round. This win was not only a special moment for Israel, being his first fight ever in the UFC, but he also earned the Performance of the Night bonus. As you can probably already tell, Israel went on to win pretty much every match he had and quickly earned a big name for himself and public recognition. However, after his win against UFC middleweight champion Anderson Silva, he really earned his spot as one of the greats within his weight range. In July of 2019, Israel went up against Kelvin Gastelum for the interim UFC middleweight championship at UFC 236. This was a huge deal and a huge event which Israel ultimately won. The fight earned him the Fight of the Night award. He went on to win his match against Robert Whittaker for the UFC middleweight championship. This now meant that Israel was the UFC middleweight champion. In March of 2020 at the UFC 248, Israel was facing the 3-time UFC title challenger, Yoel Romero. And as you can probably already guess, Israel won the fight via unanimous decision, defending his title. Israel is set to move up a weight range now in the light heavyweight championship in March of 2021 at UFC 259. It will be interesting to see how he performs now that he is out of his comfort zone and to see if he still possesses that strong winning streak he did in the middleweight category. UFC Stars gruesome arm dislocation. At UFC 263, a fighter suffered a seriously dislocated arm as a result of a submission maneuver, leaving fans and commentators startled. After being locked in an armbar against submission expert Paul Craig, Jamal Hill's left arm was badly dislocated, and Craig eventually won by TKO with a sequence of elbows and punches. The fact that the bout was permitted to continue with Hill's arm flopping around after the dislocation astounded fans. It's flopping around. It's completely broken. Look at his arm, just flopping around. That is crazy, Joe Rogan said while commentating the event. It was a very disturbing sight to see, even for those who are seasoned pros and see these injuries all the time. That should have been stopped way before, his opponent added. When the ref sees that thing dangling around and flopping all over the place, I think it's time to stop the fight. You either tap, nap, or it snaps. Tonight, it happened to snap, he said. I felt it go. It's the ref's job to protect my opponent. My job's to finish the fight. It was like a wet fish just dancing all over my body. Following this gruesome injury, Hill provided an update of his status on social media stating, "I'm okay. To the people that support me, I love you all. Paul Craig, thank you for the lesson. I will be back and stronger because of it. This is part of the game and I will accept it and keep moving forward." The delay in ending the bout, according to commentators Joe Rogan and John Anik, could result in serious damage to Hill's arm. Who is Jamal Hill? Jamal Alexander Hill, born May 19th, 1991, is an American mixed martial artist who competes in the Ultimate Fighting Championships light heavyweight division. He is ranked number 15 in the UFC light heavyweight division as of December 8th, 2020. Hill began his professional career in 2017, going 5-0, with 4 of his fights taking place under the Knockout Promotions banner. Hill defeated future UFC fighter Daquan Townsend in only his 4th professional fight, despite Townsend having 26 pro appearances previously to that fight. Hill was subsequently invited to compete on Dana White's Contender Series 21 in 2019, when he won a UFC contract after defeating Alexander Popek via second-round ground and pound. Hill made his UFC debut against Darko Stoy at UFC Fight Night 166 on January 25th, 2020. He was declared the winner by unanimous decision. On May 30th, 2020, Hill fought Klidson Abreu at UFC on ESPN Woodley vs. Burns. He won the fight by technical knockout in the first round, but the decision was reversed on September 3rd after Hill tested positive for marijuana. He was given a 6-month suspension and a fine of 15% of his fight purse. As you can tell, he hasn't been competing in the UFC for very long, but he is definitely a force to be reckoned with. We hope he is able to make a speedy and full recovery and get back in the ring soon. And there you have it, the latest UFC news. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss any of our new and upcoming content. Thanks for watching.